when I said to Michael, do you remember me? And he's like, no. Then he remembered me. We started talking. I explained the traffic tickets and explained how I proceeded through the court, and Michael started, smiling, laughing. And he was like, I said, Mike, I say good things about you on my show all the time. I said, I try to teach people we got to get along, you folks. You're not our enemies, and, you're a legal person, I'm a lawful person. We run two sides of the tracks. You basically run parallel with public law. But you, legal society, decided to unroll the acts of Congress or decided to unroll the public law. And if you don't believe what I'm saying, go to the Harvard Business Law School, and this is exactly, how they teach it. So I'm going to teach you what I learned at the Harvard Business Law School. So you don't care. You say, well, Carl's crazy. Good. I'll prove it. Anytime you guys want to, demand that I show you how I know this, hey, you know what? Give me a couple $100 and I'll waste my time teaching you too. Or you could do the Harvard Business Law School course and you could tell me. Okay? And I'm full of shit. So I asked Michael, can you talk to my little brother? And he said, yeah, sure. My little brother's like, holy cow, you're telling the truth. And he's like, man, that's some crazy story you told about going to court and how you ran through the court and how you controlled the court, how you moved the court, and, and how you said to the judge, at the end, the judge said, well, now I'm going to pass sentence. And he said, card charge one, like guilty. I said, whoa. He said, whoa, what? Whoa, what? He said, it's my turn to talk. I said, you see me move? You see me move from my standing? Have you asked me if I've withdrawn? No, I haven't withdrawn. I said, let me explain something to you. I said, the next word that comes out of your mouth is that's guilty. I said, I'm going to move for a retrial in 2 weeks, and then I'm going to have a trial by jury. And when I have a trial by jury, what's going to happen is probably going to take me a month to explain to them the difference between legal and lawful. So this is going to be the most ridiculous, what you would call traffic court cases you've ever heard. I said, now, are you going to allow me to present the law to the court? And he said, law? What law? I said, your law. I said, you understand you've been working with a lawless court. I said, this has been a lawless court this whole entire time. Yes, you've got the facts, but you've got no law. Because everything people are talking about is premised upon a code. And I don't live my life under a code. I'm not a legal person. I'm a man. What we have here is you have to bring forth the law, in which I have to be held liable. Now bring forth the law. And he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, no idea. I said, this is the problem. I said, you're sitting on a bench. This guy's prosecuting. This guy trains recruits. And I'm a schmo. I'm just some dumb schmuck that's dressed in rags. I said, I'm teaching you folks law. I said, this is pitiful. I said, you probably got 80, 90 years combined with all you people working these positions. And you got some clown like me walking in telling you what to do? This is sad. He said, I said, here, let me present the law to you. And I gave him the copies of that code. And he's like, oh, the judge waved his hand. And he said, I've got a copy of it right here on my laptop. I got access to the Internet. I'll pull it right out of the Virginia Code itself. I said, what, you won't accept my present again? I try to present you this wonderful gift. Half an hour ago, he denied me accepting my present. That night, denying accepting my present again. I said, this is a very dishonorable court. When a man presents you something, you're supposed to accept it as a gift and say, well, it's wonderful and thank you. But no, I said, I guess it's par for this court. I said, nobody's doing anything honorable. I said, go for it. Now, read the law. And that's what I say to people all the time. And people don't understand what I say. Because you people don't give a shit. Because you think Carl's just telling some stupid story. And when the judge says, he says it's illegal to drive in reverse, and it's 1 point off on your license, a $50 fine. Second time is 3 points on your license, $100 fine. Third time is $500, 6 months suspended license, and a $500 fine. And I say to the judge, now read the law. He says, law I just did. I said, oh, jeez. This is the problem. You people are reading a stupid code. It's a codification by the legal society. Can you now read the public law? He says, what? The law that it was premised upon. What is it built upon? It's built on a public law. Read the law. He says, where is it? I just gave you a clue, Judge. It's premised, it's built upon law. Look at the bottom of the page. What? The bottom. Premised upon, built upon. Read the bottom. That's where you'll find the law. That's where your code is built on. On. You get it, Judge? On. You get it, people? On. He says it's lawful to drive in a commonwealth as long as you cause, and he just mumbled, but I know what it read, as long as you cause no harm to man or his property. There you go. That's the law. He's like, oh, wow. He says, I guess the case is dismissed. I said, no, it's discharged. You never had a case against me. This is ridiculous. You're moving a lawless court. Now, I'm not going to explain what I said to everybody else in court, but I do remember what I said to Mike when I left the courtroom. He ran outside. He said, Carl, how did you do that? What the hell just happened in there? I said, Mike, our beards get hit the ground, and you'll never understand you got lost. You got this, you got this belief of law and legal so entrenched that it's the same, and you don't understand. One's a public law, and one's a modification or a codification of it to a society. It's just legal, codification, policy enforcement expert I've ever met in my life. I said, you're fantastic, Mike. Don't even think for a second. You're not the best. I said, I've gone up against a lot. You're damn good. I said, but Mike, I said, you never know law. I said, because you've got this legal stuff so crammed up your ass, you'll never get it out. I said, thank God for people like you, and thank God for people like me. I said, that's what makes this world interesting. You keep the normal people scared, because I know you have control over your property. And you believe you do. And they believe you do. So thank God, we work on two different worlds, because you need to keep these morons and these idiots and these ridiculous human beings under control. Because if you hit somebody with your car and you say, hey, wait a second, I owe this man $10,000 for his car. I don't got it. Well, let me see. What we could do is give the man $1 a year for the next 10,000 years, and we've got to say forgive us of the trespass, and we'll get away with it. And, people don't think you will? Yeah, please. 99% of the population will. Okay, maybe the people who don't listen to my show will, but everybody else will once they know it. And that's what I said to Malik Dixon. I said, what happens? You live in Chicago, and you got a nice Mercedes and a Jaguar, which he does, because he's an ex-basketball player. I said, how would you like your brothers to come rolling out of the hood, rolling around with 3 wheels on a car, just playing bumper car with your Jaguar or Mercedes, and saying, forgive me, thy brother, thy trespass, here's $1, collect again for me in 10,000 years when I get some more. And you say, hey, brother, my behind. It's like, well, forgive my trespass, because Jesus loves us, and this is a Christian land. You'd be furious, because your insurance rates would skyrocket. It would cost a couple $1 million a year just to drive through through Chicago. I said, that's why we don't have the ability in this land to just say, forgive me of the trespassing, because, thank God, the cops keep us in check, because we can't control ourselves, because we wouldn't. And like I said, thank God my sister was on the show last week, and she said, well, in Indian land, they have streets, the odd streets and the even streets. And the odd streets the Indians drive on, and the even streets the white man controls. Well, not so much. The Indians and the white man can drive on both odd and even streets in Gallup, New Mexico. But the problem is, over there, there's no police enforcement on the odd streets. And half the people on my show said, oh, hallelujah, I'd love to live there. I don't want to have license and registrations and insurance cards. We could live like Jim McBride tells us to live, and Dean Clifford tells us to live, and throw all that crap away. And really, this is my sister got on and said, yeah, but the only problem when you go to the Indians on streets, you see all these like 1 million crucifixes at every intersection. You go to the white man street, you might see 1 or 2. So because the people don't have to stop on the Indian streets, there is no blue lights going to come up behind you. You could go 100 miles an hour or 1 mile an hour. You could stop for the red light, but don't stop for the red light. You could drink and drive, but don't, do whatever you want. You can smoke dope. And my sister said she learned real quick when she moved out there to make sure that she drove on even streets. She had to go someplace really quick and just blow through stoplights, stop signs, go on the Indian street. Cross your fingers and go for it. So people just say, well, look, if we didn't have these blue lights in our rear window, we'd be so free and we'd be able to do as we wish. Yeah, right. Okay, and how many people would be going 100 miles an hour on Friday night to make sure they got their lotto ticket in before the final ball dropped? It'd be ridiculous. Everybody's got a crisis. Everybody's got an emergency. Trust me. I fly like a maniac, too, sometimes because I think something's so freaking important, and I look at it and say, you know what? That really wasn't all that important to make it to that store in time. If I didn't get it to the next day, what's the big whoop? Like I run down there, make it before 5 o'clock, and I bring it back home, and I don't get to do it till the next morning anyway. So what's the big whoop? If I waited till 7, oh well. I could have killed somebody. Oh well, could have killed myself. But we people think it's so damn important. Our lives matter so damn much, and every damn thing we do is emergency.